are there any bits of advice or tips that you would give people when it comes to working with data and feeding numbers and trying to do kind of statistical analysis through LLMs?
Yeah, so check out my post in April on Search Engine Land. It's about this topic. So how do you bring your own data to make the LLMs give you better responses? And back in the earliest days, that really, it often meant putting the data inside of the prompt, which was very limiting, right? If you had a big data set from SEO or PPC, you just couldn't put it all in. So you had to choose what to give it first. And then they started allowing the uploads of big CSV files, PDF files. So that was the next way to do it. Now, nowadays, within GPT, they have what they call actions. Actions are kind of like APIs for large language models, so that you teach the LLM how does the API work. And an API is, of course, like a technical framework for sites to talk to each other, for them to share data between each other. But the abstraction that the LLM does is it says, okay, I understand how to talk to this other website in a technical manner, but now you, Fred, you can talk to me in the natural chat way that you have been doing. And me, the LLM, I'll figure out how to construct it into an API call to get you the data you need. So something as simple as like, can I ask an LLM, what is the current temperature in Paris? Like, no, it doesn't have an answer because it needs a data set of what is the actual current temperature. So through an action, you can build that to your data set. And it's pulling the data in, but you can also push data back. So you can say, oh, well, if the temperature is higher than 20 degrees, let me change my ad campaign and let me enable my hot weather campaign for Paris. So it's a two-way thing. Now, the thing about this is that with actions, it's still very deterministic programming. So you kind of have to understand as a user, which custom GPT am I going to use that happens to have the actions necessary for me to achieve my task. And one of the beauties of large language models is that it's everything. You don't have to decide ahead of time what you want it to do. So if you say, analyze my account and tell me what I should have done better. Well, why do you have to choose whether you look at keyword performance or ad text performance or bid performance? Like, why not let the machine decide this? But that's difficult because now the machine needs to have actions for all of these things. And so it's again limiting because it's deterministic programming. There's a new technology that Anthropic has put out there. It's called MCP, Model Context Protocol, which is kind of like think of it as APIs for large language models. And the beauty is that they can access any API they think they need on the fly. So just like you can have a conversation that goes in any direction, it can by itself decide, okay, well, Fred just asked me about account performance, so maybe let me start with the campaign level data. And then it sees something within that, and then it goes one level deeper. But it does that on the fly. It chooses what to use, so long as those data connectors exist. And so there was a great demo video. I think it was from from Mike Rhodes on LinkedIn. He did an example where he was using these MCPs to do an account audit. Now, all of that ends up still being somewhat technical. It's still quite difficult to do this. But if someone wants the easy button, I'll do a little pitch here for Optmyzr. So we have in Optmyzr what we call Sidekick, and it works exactly the same way. So it can on the fly decide which data set needs to be pulled in. We give it to Google Ads data, and then we layer in the Optmyzr philosophy on how we should optimize things, what opportunities exist. And then we give you back the human response, which you can either share with your client through a report, or you can act on it right there in the interface and actually make those changes. But those are some of the more modern ways that we're seeing to connect.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Paid Media Lab. If you found it useful, you can get the full-length episode on the Lunio YouTube channel, where you can also subscribe to catch all our latest releases. And if you want free tools, reports, and guides to help you uplift the efficiency of your PPC campaigns, head to lunio.ai and click on the Resources tab in the nav bar. See you in the next one.